What I'm going to do, guys, again, is I'm just going to recopy the information on a separate sheet so I have plenty of room to work, so just give me a moment. I know angle C is 102.3 degrees. I know angle B is 28.7 degrees. And I know leg B, look, that's a lowercase b, so that's a leg. That's 27.4 feet. Okay. Yes.
So would it be, I guess, okay to draw a graph, like to draw it out if it helps you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to draw it. I just kind of recopied it so I don't have to keep looking at the packet because I like a lot of room. All right. So yes, absolutely. I'm just going to draw an oblique triangle the best I can. Like, it's not going to be perfect. It's just going to be a sketch. It's not going to be drawn to scale. And guys, I'm just going to go in order and label it ABC. Now I'm going to go back and put the dimensions that were given to me on there. So remember, I know that angle C is 102.3 degrees. Angle B is 28.7. And then remember, leg B is 27.4. Y'all, that's going to be across from what I labeled big B. So if that's big B, that's little b. So 27.4 goes here. All right. Oh, one more thing. I wanted to tell you one more thing. So remember, the instructions say, given the following information, find all missing sides and angles, round to the nearest thousandth. So that's our default. But what I wanted to tell you is sometimes you'll see instructions that say solve the triangle. And solve the triangle just means find all sides and angles. That means the same thing. So I am going to solve this triangle. Let's figure out what's missing. Angle A is missing, so I'm going to draw a blank for that. Got to find that. Leg C is missing. I'm going to draw a blank for that. Y'all, I'm going to go ahead and write feet here because I'm horrible about remembering units. Leg B is given, but leg A is not given. We're going to have to find that one too. And remember, that's in feet. Okay, so let's go ahead and find angle A. That's going to be easy. Even though it's not a right triangle, it still has 180 degrees, y'all. So for angle A, we're just going to do 180 minus the other angle measures. So when we do that, I really wish I had these numbers memorized, but I don't. 180 minus 28.7 minus 102.3 is a whole number of 49 degrees. So angle A is 49 degrees. Awesome. One down, two more to go. And those other two, remember, it's not a right triangle. I have no chance of Pythagorean theorem. I couldn't even use the Pythagorean theorem if I wanted because I only have one measure. So I am forced to use law of sines. Let me go ahead and write 49 degrees right here. And before I continue, everybody can see the calculator, right? Yes. Okay. All right, so here's what law of sines says. It's just a proportion, y'all. It says, let me draw my little setup for my proportion. It says the leg given of 27.4 divided by the sine value of the corresponding angle. So underneath, I'm going to write sine of 28.7. If I put in that calculator, I'm not going to, but if I put that in the calculator, whatever number I get is the exact same number as if I knew what leg A was, divided by sine 49, which is angle A. Same exact number. So with that being said, we can solve for A. Let's cross multiply and then divide. So I'm going to multiply these two together. Not really. I'm going to do it on the calculator in a minute. But when I write them, I'm going to write the 27.4 first, then the sine value of 49. I'm going to recopy my equal sign. And I'm going to multiply these two together on the other side. I'm going to put the letter A first. So it's going to be A times sine of 28.7. All right, now I'm going to divide. I need to solve for A, so I'm going to divide both sides by sine of 28.7. So A is going to equal 27.4 sine 49 on top divided by sine of 28.7. So a couple of things about this line of my work. This is called calculator ready. Pretty easy to put in the calculator, y'all. Calculator ready. And it's also exact form. I mean, as soon as we type in the calculator, we're going to have to round. All right, so moving forward, this middle step right here, remember how I crossed out the word all and wrote the word necessary? I am not writing this step moving forward. I'm going from here to my calculator ready. Are there any questions about the bottom line of my work? Let's type it in. Just like this. All right, look, so on the calculator, let me hit clear. You're just going to type 27.4, then hit the sign button, then hit 49, then hit enter, then hit divide, and then type in the denominator. So let's hit divide after enter, and then sine of 28.7. And then there you go. That's the answer. Yes. So on this part right here, we multiplied these two together, and I got this. And I multiplied these two together, and I got that.
So why is the denominator on the second one different?
So what I did, that was just my first step. Remember, I'm trying to isolate the variable. So I divided both sides by what was next to it. All good? Just like if this side was like 24 and this side over here was like 3a, I divided both sides by what was stuck next to that. Okay. All right. So A, when we do our calculator work, A is going to equal 43.061. And remember, it's in feet. I'm going to go ahead and write that in my blank. And then that's it. Now it's time to move on to leg C. So when I move on to leg C, I'm going to show you guys a couple of things. Y'all, I'm so habitual. I'm going to reuse this right here. Remember, we used that left side to find A. I can still use that exact left side to find C. But that's not what I wanted to tell you, though. Hold on, let me write this down. All right, so I'm going to find C. So instead of a letter A up there, I want to find C. I can still recopy sine, but remember, I need the sine value of angle C. So we're not going to have the same number here. We're going to write the angle measure for C. So write 102.3. But what I wanted to show you guys is, yes, I do recopy it, but you can use any side that you want. Now that I have leg A, I could also use this 43.061 over sine of 49 degrees. So remember, like if you have a multiple choice question or something like that, any ratio will work. They're all equal to each other. Both will work. All right, So I'm going to go back to what I wrote in purple. I'm going to go straight to calculator ready form. So leg C is going to equal 27.4 times sine of 102.3 divided by sine of 28.7. Remember, this is calculator ready. This is required on free response type questions. So is your original setup. So that's the necessary baseline work you need to show. Is there any questions on how I got from here to here? Let me type this in. So 27.4 times the sine value of 102.3, enter, divide sine 28.7. So C, leg C, is going to be 55.747. So I'm going to write that back up here on my blank because all of my answers need to be together because my teacher is going to require that. Make sure you have this portion very visible for me to see because that's the answer. This is just work. Any questions on number 1? We're going to do it again, y'all. We're going to do it one more time. Then we're going to take a look at some word problems. So let me copy down the info for problem 2. All right, so we got an angle A of 24.3 degrees. What else? What else? Angle C of 54.6 degrees. And a little baby leg measure of just 2.68 inches. Okay, let's draw a diagram. Again, it's a sketch, not drawn to scale, but it'll get us through. I'm just going to randomly address these angles, give them names. Go ahead and put my little legs out here. And now we're rolling. Let's see what we're given. So we're given angle A, so I'm going to write 24.3 degrees. We're given angle C of 54.6 degrees. And we're given C's leg of 2.68. All right, great. So since I have an angle and a leg measure, I know that stuff's going to be on the left side of my proportion. So before I even kind of set up the rest of my work, I know I'm going to start with 2.68 on top and sine of 54.6. And remember, I recycle stuff. I'm going to use the same thing over here. All right, so what else do we need to find? Well, we need to find angle B. Remember, that's the easy part. That's just 180 minus the stuff. I need to find leg A, and I need to find leg B. Let's go ahead and find angle B. So just 180 minus 24.3 minus 54.6. So angle B is 101.1. Cool. And then, y'all, I'm just going to go in alpha order. So I'm going to find A first, then I'm going to find B. All right, so remember, angle A was given us. So let's write sine of 24.3 right here. Now I'm going to go to calculator ready. Calculator ready has the variable all by itself. Remember, these two are multiplied. So let's multiply them together. Remember, crisscross, multiply and divide. So if we multiply these two together, remember we always divide by the other one. And the other one is sine of 54.6. So let's divide by that. And you know what? I am not putting that in the calculator yet. I'm going to set them up and work them simultaneously. Let's look over here. Let's find angle B. Where's angle B? It's up here. Oh, remember we found it. It was 101.1. So let's write sine 101.1. So calculator ready for leg B. We're going to multiply these two together. And remember, you always divide by the other one. The other one's this. So we're going to divide by sine of 54.6. Yeah, those are required. Yep. Okay, now the calculator works. So let me go back to leg A. I'm just going to type this in just like that, y'all. So 2.68 sine 24.3, enter, then divide sine of 54.6. And it's a small number, guys. So it's 1.353. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in my little template I set up at the beginning. Remember, it's in inches. Now let's find leg B. Same process. 2.68 sine 101.1. Remember, you have to hit enter before you hit divide. Now let's divide by sine of 54.6. So that's going to be 3.223. No, 3.227. Right? Yes. No, what is it? That's not right. What's the answer? Oh yeah, I have that one, but this stays as a 6. I think that I was talking during class when my teacher taught rounding. That's why I'm horrible at rounding as an adult, because I was talking as a kid. Are there any questions on law of sines?